Do you go to school or have you ever been to school? If so, this video is definitely for you. So the plan for today is pretty simple. I took 10 of everybody's favorite school stereotypes, threw this on this list here, and we're gonna be ranking them, with S being the highest and F being the lowest, and everywhere else in between. Before we get into this video, I do have to preface, none of these stereotypes are based off of individual people, nor is this meant to bully or harass anyone. This is all just for jokes so we can have something fun to laugh at. So now we can get on with the video. First off, we have the infamous band kid. Now chances are you've probably seen memes about these kinds of people, and I can't, first off, diss on them too bad because I once was in band. Now here's where the argument of kid in band versus band kid comes into play. People say like, oh, well, I was just a kid in band, and then people will be like, no, there's no difference, you are a band kid. And I'm kind of on the side of there are kids in band and there are band kids, because there could be somebody who likes playing an instrument and is in the band and is a normal human being. And then there could be the ones quoting Big Chungus and T-posing still like 5 years after the meme died. And before you think, that's ridiculous, no one thinks these memes are funny anymore, I hardly even remember them, or you might not even know what they were in the first place. But trust me, they will let you know of these memes and they will gladly remind you of how Among Us, Big Chungus, and Uganda Knuckles were the best memes ever, and still are. If you haven't heard Spontaneously All-Star from Shrek being sung out, chances are you probably haven't run into one of them. And if you ever see someone standing still with their arms out like this in a T formation, that is called a T-pose, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you too young to even understand what that is. Like, these memes are old. Now, despite the load of cringe that you will probably get from a lot of these references and old memes and conversations, I will say they're not absolutely repulsing, and they're not intentively trying to be malicious. They're actually enjoying life and just having fun with themselves, and you can completely avoid them. It's not like they go out of their way to bother you. So they stay with what they find's funny. They're happy in life, so for that, we're gonna give them a C tier. They might not be like the least cringy people to be around, so that's why I'm putting them in C, not B, but you know what, they're not like harm to society, so we'll keep them in the C. Next up, we have the Where My Hug At guys. Now, this is completely different from what you would call like a super senior or like an 18-year-old dating a 13-year-old. This is more in the realm of these guys think that their Riz is literally just saying, where my hug at? And I mean, you've probably seen the memes. If not, then literally it's just people like walking up to a girl that they have interest in and going, where my hug at? Like they think that that's gonna get them anywhere, that hug is enough affection for the girl like to just instantly fall in love with them. And then they try this every day, and like if they haven't seen you all, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I gotta get my hug in, where my hug at? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is inherently obnoxious. It's a little sad that some people use this as their Riz. They'll be like, W Riz, I hugged a girl today. So it is inherently a little sad. It can get a little annoying, but I'm not like a girl that's a target for these, so it doesn't really affect me. I just hate to see it happen, you know. So that's going in D tier. Next up, we have the teacher's pet. I don't know how much explaining I need to do for this one. The teacher's pet literally's only job is to glaze the teacher 24/7, and whether that be through, you know, the classic reminding the class of the homework, which I'm sure you all are very well aware of, or just correcting you on absolutely everything, always taking the teacher's sides on things, and literally tattling. I'm gonna use the phrase tattling on every single thing that happens in the classroom. You say something, it's gonna get heard and shared to the class. You do something, it's also going to get heard and shared to the class, and you're going to be paying for it. The teacher's pet gets no extra salary, so there's no reason why they got to be working so hard for the teacher. They ain't getting no extra credit, they're only getting some invisible brownie points, so I don't know why they work that hard to do it. Just like, be a student like the rest of them, you are not special. For that reason, I'm putting them in F, because not only are they obnoxious, but like, they do things that makes everybody else not like them, except for the teacher. So, I mean, hey, if you want to be a one-person pleaser, great. If you want to be a classic pleaser, no. And I'm not recommending that you go into this position either. Next, we got the classic stoners. And I mean, where even are you supposed to put these guys? Because these guys are just minding their own business at all points of the day, you know? You can always tell that they are absolutely like on another dimension, but they ain't doing anything, right? They're not causing a disturbance. They're just kind of there, you know? They're here to get their high school diploma until, you know, maybe they might drop out. But I mean, hey, they do what they do. They ain't hurting anybody. I'm probably going to put them in B tier just because, you know, you might be able to get into like a chill conversation with them. Who knows? They might be pretty friendly. You're probably just not going to like commonly interact with them because they probably like to keep to themselves. So for that reason, we're going a healthy B tier. Next, we have the kid that's never at school. Like, this kid has like a 10% attendance rate, and they've had this like throughout their entire school career. You're like, how do they keep moving on to the grades? I've seen them like once. And like, you might even have classes with them. It's like, wait, don't I have him in my 4th hour class, in my 5th hour? Wait a minute, but no. And then you think back to it and you're like, wait, no, he is in there. He's just never at school. And like you'll see on their like Instagram or their Snapchat stories that they're in like on top of freaking Mount Fiji or something in the Himalayas or something. You'll never know what they'll be doing. They just won't be at school. And this comes in two different types of people. It comes in the type of people that stay home and just skip school, somehow pass the grade and just stay home and play video games. And the people who are always on vacation. Like you're like, how on earth can you go to Disney World like 17 times in a school year? And so you will never see this person. You'll never have an interaction, but it could be your friend or it could be somebody that literally, like I've said a million times, you never see. And for this reason, I'll put them in C just because you're jealous because you have to actually work to pass your grade and this person does not. They just magically do it. So C it is. The infamous I paused my game to be here person. So this is probably a freshman, to be honest. If you're in middle school, this will be the youngest grade there. Whatever it is, it'll be the youngest like grade or person in your school. And if you haven't figured it out yet, this is not a very hip shirt to wear. It's mostly memed. I mean, honestly, I could care less if you're wearing it, but in the terms of the public eye, this is gonna get you like finger pointed and laughed at and thrown tomatoes at. Now, I wasn't sure as what to categorize this person because I wanted to do gamer, but that's kind of a different thing. So I'm thinking just kind of like, you know, stuck in elementary kind of person, right? I mean, they're probably still like a little bit of a squeaker. But one thing I will mention is these people will always have the biggest glow ups out of absolutely nowhere. One summer they'll come back, they'll be like freaking fashionista, runway model, like freaking bodybuilder status out of absolutely nowhere. So you gotta commend their respect. They're not really committing anything like negative to society as they are, but you know what? They're gonna grow up to be like a super chill person. So for that, we're gonna put B. Oh, next up, we got my personal, well, I was gonna say favorite, but this is a tier list, so it's not really time to be super satirical, but we have the Nick Fiends. If you see somebody with the Supreme hoodie, a lot of times you'll have the Bart Simpson on it, the tatted jeans with a chain attached to it. You know you got yourself a Nick Fiend. They be puffing that flavor air all times during the day, 24/7. If you ever see their knees up on the desk and their hoodie up over their mouth like this, you know what they're doing. They are hotboxing the entirety of the inside of their shirt, and it's clearly obvious, and I don't know why I've never seen one get called out for it, because I'm like, dude is sitting literally with his knees up on the desk and his hoodie over his face, like for a full like couple minutes, and no one even points it out. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And if it was just that, it would be like the stoner wouldn't have a problem with them. Unfortunately, it's not, because not only is it similar to them, it is actually worse, because one, they are called fiends for a reason. If forbid they lose their vaping device, you will not hear the end of it. Even if you do not know them, they will be asking anybody and everybody that they can get their hands on, like, oh, bro, you got one? And not only that is annoying, but if you've ever tried to use a public restroom in a public high school, you know the second you walk in there, it is a complete hotbox full of all of these Nick Fiends, and they are so annoying. It's full of people saying, whoa, are you gonna snitch? Or like, oh, you want one? You want some? And it's like, no, I just wanted to take a pee. I'm good. And honestly, I've stopped using the public bathrooms in the middle of the day because of these people. So these guys have literally eliminated an entire function of a high school building for me. And a lot of people share the same way. The bathroom is literally controlled by these guys now, and it's extremely annoying. You walk in there, there's always something incredibly shady going on, and it's all their fault. So for that, we're going F tier. These are my least favorite people on the tier list so far. I'd honestly put them below the teacher's pet. Now we have the kids in the back of the class having a feast. Now, these guys, you will look in the back of the class, it could range from somebody just eating a bag of Doritos in the back of English class to someone who has a literal rotisserie chicken sitting in the back of the class, like with an entire like freaking tablecloth set up. And this could be one person, this could be a group of people, but they always have snacks. And I'm not just talking about a water bottle. I'm talking like an entire like 2-liter. They always got a can of soda. They got something during all times of the day. You'll look back there and be like, how did they get all of this in their backpack? Or didn't I just see them finish another Cosmic Brownie? How did they get another one? Like, you'd think 5 Cosmic Brownies would be enough, and no, they got another one. Like, where are you getting all this food from? Like, you wouldn't be surprised if they just brought an entire watermelon out of their pocket and just started munching into it. Like, it is absolutely insane. This does not affect me in any way, and honestly, it's cool because they can share their snacks. You know, if they've got a whole freaking Thanksgiving turkey dinner back there, you know, they can share some snacks. I mean, they probably can eat it all, and they might eat it all, but you never know. They might share, you know. They got a big freaking family-sized bag of nacho cheese Doritos. weirdos, they might give you some. It's always pretty chill. You know, this person is not only not causing problems, but can actually help you out. So for that, I think I'm gonna give him an A. I was debating on whether calling this next person Machine Gun Kelly fans or emos, so I just went with emos because it's more broad. But to be honest, it's pretty neutral. I mean, this is like a couple of the other ones on this list. It's a little bit like, you know, straight away from, you know, if you don't want to talk to them, you don't have to talk to them. And they are definitely not going to go out of their way to talk to you because typically they're more on the shyer end. So for that reason, obviously, can't be dissing on them too much. Obviously, you got a couple of them that are a little weird, but to be honest, you really don't have a lot of interactions with them. You might get put in a group for like a group project with them, but they ain't gonna be like annoying. They just might be a little wacky, you know what I mean? And as long as they don't get them to talk about like Machine Gun Kelly or Little Darky, you should be fine. But in that case, I'll probably have to put them at a C. Last but most certainly not least, we have the MM Fanboys. These people swear that Eminem is the greatest rapper since sliced bread, and they will defend that opinion with their life. You know, all the things like Kendrick is trash, J. Cole is trash, all these other rappers are trash except for Eminem. Because Eminem raps fast, and he's got great bars, and he hasn't missed on a single album, and any person with a sane mind knows that that is not true. I mean, yes, he's had his moments, yes, he is good, and yes, he is a legend, but saying that he is the best rapper or musician of all time is absolutely insane. Now, if it came down to just this opinion itself, ranking somebody based off a musical opinion in a tier list like this is a little silly, but that's not the only issue here. These people are annoying and like to voice all of their opinions, and you know, that's fine if you want to voice your opinions. Just A, it's, you know, preferably my opinion, but I feel like that's everybody. That's not like a hot take. And B, like, you gotta know when to shut up or when you don't have to announce your opinion, and these people usually do not. And, you know, you could argue with them for hours about why Eminem's not the greatest artist of all time, but they ain't gonna stop until they've settled it and they've won. So, you know, you gotta admire the dedication to the craft, you gotta admire the dedication to the glazing, but we're gonna have to definitely put them in D tier. Yeah, but that's my tier list. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Comment down below if you want to see me do a part 2, because I do have some more ideas in mind, and you can comment down below what types of people you want to see added to this tier list. And yeah, make sure to check out channel memberships, get yourself some cool perks like member-only videos and polls, as well as joining private group chats with me and other members. Join the Discord, link is in the description. There'll be more videos just like this on screen, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.